this grant we received is actually the third one I've been involved with. And when I was in engineering, I was very interested with working with engineering first-year students about the issue with math, because that's been one of the things with engineering is engineering students have to start with Calculus 1 in their engineering degree program, and they couldn't. They came in and they had to take remedial math, and sometimes it was pushing them back up to 2 years, of trying to resolve the math problem. So we designed this program with the freshman engineering students, because what I wanted them to do is to work in teams and to see that they are each other's best resources on campus. That yes, you can go to a tutoring center. There are a lot of things there are a lot of places you can go, like Khan Academy, but working with another person is the best way to learn math. And we found that they did pass pre-calculus in a little bit higher numbers, but it wasn't statistically significant. But what was statistically significant was when they got to calculus. They were passing in higher numbers with higher grades. And it's like exactly what we wanted to do. So when that was happening, I said, okay, we're heading over to the math department and we're going to see what we can do to scale what we've learned.
At UTEP, students are required to take a workshop alongside their regular pre-calculus class. So we have more than 500 students a semester taking workshops. And what we've done is focus on transforming the pedagogy of those workshops so that it's not lecture-based, it's not individualized learning. Rather, it's peer learning. It's focused on teams working together, talking about math problems, and really gaining a lot out of that experience. So they're active, they're engaged, and that's what we've been focused on in the past 2 years with this grant.
Now the students are learning in groups. We're using technology, and the technology, the way we use it is we have the students work in groups, they solve a problem, then we hand them an iPad, they record the problem, and then we project it onto the class so that the class sees their own problem. And so they're learning by using the technology, by working together in groups, and then by having the entire class look at it. So you can see that whole community of learning growing from an individual student all the way up to the classroom.
I think that the main thing is that when people have an opportunity to talk to one another and to come together to present their solutions to problems and share it with one another, that sort of makes their thinking visible, right, or audible, so that they start to think, well, how would I solve this? What am I thinking what my solutions might be? And so they might talk to one another, and it sort of emerges from their interactions.
Introducing TAs who, the TAs change, from year to year. And so there's not only sustainability issues in terms of the grant, but sustainability in terms of, those TAs aren't going to be there for forever. So once they leave, how do we keep this practice ongoing? And so the idea was, well, we'll create this toolkit that will introduce TAs to these ideas about learning these different kinds of ideas, and also kind of provide them with representations or applications of what this looks like in the context of the pre-calculus workshop.
One of the major changes was the role that we as TAs had. As before, we would just be sort of like tutors, like lecturers, in a sense. And now we try to help them not just look for the answer, but try to figure out how to get to the answer.
It supported the development of my study group because it didn't only give us some material to work on, but also help us to make the study group and realize that we weren't alone. We could share our ideas and our answers with our other students.
It has great implications for transdisciplinary transferability. So it certainly is not only significant or salient or meaningful to these pre-calculus workshops, but it has applicability to really any discipline.
We're absolutely delighted to have this project on our campus and to work with the TAs and all the things that we're learning from each other. It's been a joy.